Remember when farm equipment ads were more than just specs and prices? When a tractor commercial could stop you dead in your tracks and make you dream about plowing fields at sunrise? These weren't just advertisements, they were promises of a better life, symbols of American ingenuity, and sometimes downright entertainment. Number 1. John Deere's "Nothing Runs Like a Deere," the slogan that almost wasn't. The most famous slogan in agricultural history almost ended up in the trash, literally. In the early 1970s, John Deere executives and Gardner advertising copywriters worked late into the night trying to create a memorable tagline for the company's new snowmobile venture. After writing down nearly 100 different ideas, every single one was rejected and the papers were thrown away. But one determined copywriter, Bob Wright, wasn't ready to give up. The next morning, he frantically dug through the trash and found a crumpled piece of paper with a discarded line, "Nothing runs like a deer." Despite being rejected once, Wright decided to pitch it again. This time, John Deere management saw it in a new light and realized they had something special. The slogan first appeared in 1971 for John Deere snowmobiles, with the original advertisement reading, "Power? John Deere has what you want in your choice of two models, 339 or 436cc. And we've got something else no other snowmobile offers. Your hometown John Deere dealer with service, parts, and experience to keep you on the trail. See him and he'll show you why. Nothing runs like a Deere." By 1974, the slogan had migrated to the tractor line. A documented advertisement from that year shows a John Deere tractor with the now famous tagline prominently displayed. The slogan was so successful that it outlived the snowmobile line, which John Deere discontinued in 1984, selling the parts and resources to Polaris. But "Nothing runs like a Deere" lived on, spreading throughout the entire company and becoming one of the most recognizable slogans in American business. Today, you can find vintage John Deere merchandise featuring the slogan from porcelain signs to thermometers, commanding premium prices among collectors. The phrase has entered everyday language, a testament to copywriter Bob Wright's determination to dig through the trash that morning in 1971. Number 2. Fordson, the $750 tractor that changed farming. Henry Ford didn't just revolutionize the automobile industry, he transformed agriculture with mass production and innovative marketing. When the Fordson tractor went into mass production on October 8, 1917, at a price of $750, it wasn't just another farm implement. It was the first lightweight, mass-produced tractor affordable to the average farmer. The marketing campaign was as revolutionary as the product. Ford produced dozens of promotional films, including the surviving Fordson Tractors film from around 1917, now preserved by the National Film Preservation Foundation. Shot on a farm in Waterloo, Ontario, the film demonstrated the Model F's operation and showed its advantages over traditional horse-drawn equipment. These films were shown by dealers and traveling sales agents across North America. But Ford's real marketing genius was the Fordson Demonstration Tour. Instead of static dealership displays, Ford sent convoys of Fordsons directly to farms across America. Farmers could test drive a Fordson on their own land with their own implements. By mid-1918, more than 6,000 Fordson tractors were in use in Britain, Canada, and the United States. The company had captured an estimated 70% market share. Ford also pioneered educational marketing. In 1919, he established a policy to loan Fordson tractors to educational institutions with vocational training programs. Agricultural colleges could use a Fordson for 6 months and then exchange it for a new one. 42 tractors were loaned to universities, including Cornell, Idaho, Michigan, Maryland, and Prairie View State Normal in Texas. The numbers tell the story. Annual production reached 36,781 in 1921 and 99,101 in 1926. By 1925, Ford had built its 500,000th Fordson tractor. Ford was the only automotive firm to sell cars, trucks, and tractors simultaneously from 1917 to 1928, during which time 552,799 Fordson tractors were built. A government test documented that farmers spent just 95 cents per acre plowing with a Fordson compared to $1.46 per acre for feeding 8 horses and paying 2 drivers. This economic argument, prominently featured in Ford's advertising, helped mechanize American agriculture practically overnight. Before we move on to the next one in the list, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you're enjoying this content so far, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch these videos without subscribing. Imagine what we could accomplish if everyone subscribed. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. Thanks to all of you who do. Number 3. Minneapolis Moline's Comfort Tractor, the $2,155 flop that made history. In September 1938, Minneapolis Moline unveiled something unprecedented at their National Harvest Festival and Style Show, a tractor with a fully enclosed heated cab. The UDLX Comfort Tractor, priced at $2,155, was displayed to 12,000 attendees at the Minneapolis Municipal Auditorium. It was a sensation and a commercial disaster. The UDLX wasn't just a tractor with a cab bolted on, it featured amenities that wouldn't become standard for decades: a heater, radio, windshield wipers, electric starter, speedometer, clock, sun visor, rear view mirror, cigarette lighter, and ashtray. With a 5-speed synchro mesh transmission capable of 40 miles per hour road speeds, it was marketed as both a tractor and a family car. Tom L. Wheeler of the Indiana Farmer's Guide wrote on October 8, 1938, "Really is quite revolutionary in style and design for comfort. I couldn't help comparing it with the farming implements I used as a boy back on our farm in Ohio. We have come a long way in developing labor-saving machinery for the farmer, and now he can ride on a cushioned seat in a temperature-controlled cab and listen to the news of the world on his radio while doing his plowing." But farmers balked at the price, nearly double that of competing tractors from John Deere or International Harvester. During the Depression, the idea of comfort features seemed frivolous. Only 125 150 UDLX tractors were produced between 1938 and 1941. By 1940, just 2/3 of production had been sold. The remaining inventory was returned to the factory, where the cabs were removed and the tractors converted to standard Model U units, selling for around $1,000. Yet the UDLX's failure was also its triumph. It proved that farmers would eventually want comfort and convenience. Every modern tractor with an enclosed cab owes a debt to Minneapolis Moline's bold experiment. Today, restored UDLX comfort tractors can fetch nearly $200,000 at auction, testament to their role as the machine that was, as many said, well before its time. Number 4. John Deere's self-driving sensation at CES. On January 4th, 2022, John Deere made history by bringing farm equipment to the world's premier technology showcase. At a press conference at CES 2022 in Las Vegas, the company revealed a fully autonomous 8R tractor ready for large-scale production. Not a concept, not a demo, but a working machine available to farmers that year. The announcement generated worldwide headlines and millions of social media views. The presentation showed the autonomous 8R tractor with TrueSet enabled chisel plow working fields, while farmers monitored progress on their smartphones. Using John Deere Operations Center Mobile, farmers could simply swipe from left to right to start the machine, then leave to focus on other tasks. The tractor featured 6 pairs of stereo cameras for 360-degree obstacle detection, GPS guidance accurate to less than an inch, and machine learning trained on 50 million images collected over 5 years. Images from the cameras were routed through a deep neural network via 2 NVIDIA GPUs that could classify each pixel in 100 milliseconds. What made this announcement truly viral was the platform. By presenting at CES rather than a traditional farm show, John Deere positioned itself not as an equipment manufacturer, but as a technology company. The stark contrast, a massive tractor displayed alongside smartphones and gaming systems, captured global attention. Media coverage exploded. Barron's called John Deere the Tesla of farming. Tech publications that had never covered agriculture suddenly featured combined harvesters on their front pages. The announcement video spread across social media platforms, sparking debates about the future of farming, labor, and technology. The timing addressed a critical issue with 2.4 million farm jobs needing to be filled annually amid labor shortages. The autonomous tractor offered a solution that resonated far beyond agriculture. The split-screen demonstration a farmer attending their child's baseball game while monitoring fieldwork on their phone visualized a work-life balance that had eluded farming families for generations. John Deere's CES presentation proved that farm equipment could still capture the world's imagination. 3 years later, at CES 2025, the company returned with second-generation autonomy across multiple vehicle types, but nothing matched the impact of that first autonomous tractor announcement that transformed how the world sees modern agriculture. Number 5. John Deere's first national ad, losing money every day. Long before nothing runs like a deer, John Deere was already mastering the art of agricultural advertising. A documented 1926 advertisement preserved in company archives shows how the company appealed directly to farmers' bottom line with bold, direct messaging. The full-page ad opens with an engineering lesson, explaining to consumers what makes a good engine. But then, it delivers the knockout punch. You are losing money every day. This little profit maker is not on your farm. This wasn't subtle, it was a direct appeal to Depression-era farmers watching every penny. The 1926 campaign represented a shift in agricultural advertising from simply describing features to quantifying economic benefits. John Deere didn't just say their tractors were good, they said farmers were actively losing money without them. This approach would influence agricultural marketing for decades to come. Number 6. Ford's The Ford Age, selling global dominance. In 1923, Ford Motor Company produced its most ambitious promotional film to date, The Ford Age, an hour-long cinematic celebration of Ford's worldwide industrial and automotive prowess. Unlike typical 20-30-minute promotional films, this epic production aimed to position Ford not just as a tractor manufacturer, but as a global industrial force transforming civilization itself. The film, cataloged in the National Archives as FCFC 139, represented the pinnacle of Ford's promotional ambitions. Where other agricultural equipment ads focused on specific products or local benefits, the Ford Age painted a sweeping picture of mechanization's global impact. The film showed Ford factories on multiple continents, Fordson tractors working fields from Iowa to India, and the interconnected nature of modern industrial agriculture. It was propaganda in the grandest sense, selling not just machines but an entire worldview. What made this campaign remarkable was its distribution strategy and versatility. The hour-long runtime meant it could serve as a feature presentation at theaters, not just a short before the main attraction. Ford's dealers projected it in showrooms, fraternal lodges, schools, recreation halls, county fairs, and even outdoors using building walls as screens. The film was available for purchase at 5 cents per foot or rental at 50 cents per day per reel, making it accessible to even small-town dealers. The timing was strategic. By 1923, Ford faced increasing competition in the tractor market. International Harvester's Farmall was gaining ground, and other manufacturers were catching up to Ford's mass production techniques. The Ford Age responded by shifting the conversation from individual product comparisons to Ford's role in human progress. The film's message was clear: buying a Fordson wasn't just acquiring a tractor, it was participating in the modern age. This ambitious campaign helped maintain Ford's market dominance through the mid-1920s, though by decade's end, the Fordson would lose its American market lead. Number 7. John Deere at CES, the keynote that changed everything. If John Deere's 2022 CES announcement put them on the tech map, their 2023 appearance cemented their transformation. For the first time in CES history, an agricultural company was invited to deliver a keynote address on January 5, 2023, with the theme of human security and feeding a growing global population. This wasn't just another product announcement, it was agriculture taking center stage at the world's premier technology event. The keynote positioned farming as essential to global security and farmers as technology pioneers. The impact rippled through both industries, with tech investors suddenly interested in corn yields and farmers discussing GPU processing power. CEO John May delivered a powerful message. It's farmers across the world who undertake the enormous task of growing the food, fuel, and fiber we all need. They are ensuring that we not only have what we need today, but that future generations do too. The presentation unveiled Exact Shot trademark, technology that reduces starter fertilizer use by more than 60% by placing it precisely on seeds rather than continuous flow. They also revealed an electric excavator powered by a Chrysler battery. The keynote's theme aligned with CES 2023's Human Security for All initiative, developed in partnership with the World Academy of Art and Science supporting the United Nations. Gary Shapiro, CTA's president, noted this represented technology solving humanity's greatest challenges. Korean media outlet Seukka World, with 2.55 million subscribers, featured the story in the age of food war following the energy war, demonstrating global reach. The presentation concluded with May's powerful summation, real purpose. Real tech, real impact. Number 8, Ford's Keep the Boy on the Farm, the emotional sell. In 1919, Ford Motor Company released one of the most emotionally charged agricultural advertisements ever created. Keep the Boy on the Farm, a promotional film for the Fordson tractor that addressed a crisis facing rural America. As young men returned from World War I, many were abandoning farm life for city opportunities. Ford's film promised that mechanization could make farming attractive enough to keep the next generation on the land. The film, preserved in the National Archives with identifier 91840, wasn't just selling tractors. It was selling a solution to rural depopulation. The dramatized advertisement showed how the drudgery of horse-powered farming drove young people away, then demonstrated how a Fordson tractor could transform farm work from backbreaking labor into modern, dignified employment. The title itself became a rallying cry for rural communities worried about their future. What made this campaign particularly effective was its timing and emotional appeal. Released just months after the war's end, it spoke directly to parents' fears about losing their children to urban life. The film showed before and after scenarios, exhausted farmers struggling with horses versus confident operators managing Fordson tractors. It emphasized how mechanization could provide young farmers with the same technological advancement their city cousins enjoyed. The film's distribution strategy was revolutionary. Ford Motor Company's vast dealer network ensured the film reached rural communities nationwide. It played in small-town theaters, at county fairs, and anywhere farmers gathered. Local newspapers often covered these screenings as events, generating additional publicity. The campaign succeeded in repositioning farming not as old-fashioned drudgery, but as a modern profession worthy of the younger generation's ambitions. Number 9, De Laval's The World Standard Dominating Dairy. While tractor manufacturers battled for field supremacy, De Laval Separator Company achieved something remarkable in the dairy equipment market. They became synonymous with cream separation itself. Their The World Standard campaign, running from the early 1900s through the 1920s, established such dominance that De Laval became the generic term for cream separators, much like Kleenex for tissues. The campaign's genius lay in its simplicity and ubiquity. De Laval produced thousands of tin signs, tip trays, match holders, and cabinet advertisements, all featuring their distinctive logo and the tagline, "The World Standard." A surviving 1927 tin cutout advertisement, now commanding premium prices among collectors, shows their sophisticated marketing approach. The signs featured beautiful lithographed illustrations of cows from different countries, Scotland, Denmark, Holland, reinforcing the world standard claim. De Laval's advertising appeared everywhere farmers might look. Tin tip trays bearing the world standard message sat on kitchen tables and store counters. Die-cut tin match holders shaped like cream separators served as three-dimensional advertisements in farm kitchens. The company produced embossed tin signs for country stores, porcelain flange signs for dealerships, and even ornate oak cabinets with lithographed tin doors for product display. One surviving cabinet door, produced by American Art Sign Company of Brooklyn, New York, demonstrates the high quality of these promotional materials. The campaign succeeded by making a bold claim and backing it up. By declaring themselves the world standard and claiming 1 million in use, De Laval positioned competitors as inferior alternatives. The strategy worked. De Laval separators became essential dairy equipment on American farms, and their advertising materials remain highly sought after, with original signs fetching hundreds of dollars at auction. The campaign proved that in farm equipment marketing, sometimes the boldest claim wins. Number 10, Ford's Golden Opportunity, Financing the Future. By 1923, Ford Motor Company faced a new challenge. Many farmers wanted Fordson tractors but couldn't afford the upfront cost. Their solution was revolutionary for its time: the Ford Weekly Purchase Plan, and they promoted it with a sophisticated film campaign titled Golden Opportunity. This 8-minute promotional film didn't just sell tractors, it sold a new way of buying them. The film, produced by Ford Motor Company in Detroit and now preserved in the Ford Educational Library, represented a shift in agricultural marketing from selling products to selling financial solutions. The title itself was carefully chosen. Golden Opportunity suggested both the wheat fields farmers would cultivate and the financial prosperity the plan promised. The film showed farmers making small weekly payments at their local Ford dealer, gradually building toward tractor ownership while their crops grew. What made this campaign groundbreaking was its recognition that affordability, not just price, determined sales. The Ford Weekly Purchase Plan allowed farmers to start saving for a tractor with as little as $5, making payments that aligned with their cash flow from cream checks, egg money, or crop sales. The film emphasized that farmers could start benefiting from mechanization immediately upon purchase, rather than waiting years to save the full amount. The campaign's sophistication extended to its distribution. Ford understood that financial decisions often involved the entire family, so the film was shown not just at implement dealers, but at community gatherings where wives and children could see it too. Local newspapers covered these screenings, often printing testimonials from farmers who had successfully purchased tractors through the plan. By 1925, when Ford had produced its 500,000th Fordson, the Weekly Purchase Plan had helped thousands of farmers afford mechanization. The campaign proved that innovative financing, properly marketed, could be as important as innovative engineering in transforming American agriculture. From a copywriter digging through trash to find nothing runs like a Deere to John Deere commanding the stage at the world's biggest tech show, these verified campaigns prove that agricultural advertising has always been about more than selling tractors. They sold dreams, progress, and the promise of a better life on the farm. Each campaign captured a moment when technology promised to transform the hardest job in the world into something better. Whether it was Ford's $750 Fordson making tractors affordable, Minneapolis Moline daring to imagine comfort in the field, or John Deere showing farmers they could finally make it to their kids' baseball game, these weren't just ads, they were promises kept. The next time you see farm equipment advertising, remember you're witnessing the continuation of a tradition that helped build American agriculture, one revolutionary campaign at a time. Don't forget to subscribe for more verified stories about the innovations that shaped our heartland.